Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. Welcome to Pre-Market Analysis Live for October, Friday of all days, October the 30th, 2020. Good morning, Miss Kaniza. How are you? Glad to have you. Please do let me know if the sound is satisfactory to your ears before we get started here this morning. Because my internet is going in and out. I'm seeing a disconnection from the live streamer. I mean, for the last day of the month, if we could just get through this. No, folks. Sorry for yesterday. I was put. Yeah, I was pulled into a fire drill yesterday. So at 3 p.m., we couldn't have the live streaming at all. That's to get us ready for the earnings. And what after hours it was, right? Eventually, when I got done with whatever I was doing, then so the afterwards I was like, wow, yeah. That's we will talk a little bit about that. I will have to do my part on public service. I don't know if I'm public service or whatever, given the number of people who may catch it. But hey, if at least for those statewide, there is an election. If you haven't heard about it, on Tuesday, November the 3rd, a weekend is coming. So just like our pastor yesterday at Bible study, yes, Telex is a Bible study attending fellow. Yeah, yeah. Even further, if you didn't know about Telex, maybe I should do something like that. Getting to know Telex. Yeah, Telex sings in the choir. He's just a choir boy. Oh boy, will you like? Some people would just like to. Actually, if you're curious, I think there's a playlist on this channel on YouTube where it's not a gospel song per se. Is it? I'm not sure, but there's a song that's in French. That's I've not re-recorded or something. So it was a gift for one of my niece. Yeah, for her birthday. So if you want to, well, that's the story for another day. So in any case, there's an election. Those stateside, please, do vote. Go vote. I can tell you that even for my voting, because I don't know if you have seen a ballot in the U.S. Like to this is a general election, not only the president but U.S. representative and like the mayor. The for the mayor of my city here, there were four candidates, right? So voting for the mayor is important. Trust me, that's the closest thing that's us in terms of civic duty. So I did quantitative analysis, my friends. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. So there were three lady candidates and a man. So and I know a little bit of some of the candidates. I mean, I've been living in the same city for 20 years. Yeah, so but yes, I did quantitative analysis. So let's see if my quantitative analysis on electing the mayor of my city will help us out. Which help us into transition will be, well, at least if you fail on one end, yeah, try apply it in different areas. So quantitative analysis for us. Did it work yesterday on anything? Let's say I saw. Was it like which were against us? So I read it. Certain days just look like a blur for me. Yesterday I think Gangster was pins, yeah, and Etsy. Etsy calls they if you, yeah, eventually you're gonna fail. So that lead me to one of the question that we may have, especially if you are new to Gangster. One question could be, hey, how long do I leave my order open? This is a very interesting question. Uh, typically, really, in the general sense of, we are to be getting filled in the first 30 minutes at large, 45 minutes max, an hour top. Why am I bringing that up? Because yesterday that was in full effect. Pins was one of the gangster, but the implied volatility was so high, right, to start. As time was passing by, implied volatility was coming down, meaning that if you were to buy options, let's say early in there, you overpaid for them because they kept dropping the implied volatility. So that's something we definitely have to be on the lookout on there as well, right? To say, hey, the stock is moving. I mean, let's maybe go to the 15-minute chart of this. Okay, so after the first 15 minutes, this is what they did. So for 45 minutes, the stock is literally not moving. Let me zoom in beta. Let me zoom in. So it's posting the same price here. We close at 67.99. The next candle we close at 68.01. The next candle we close at 67. But you catch my drift here. All of this time here, all the computers are doing well. First, it's outside of the upper Bollinger stretch as heck. So this is, remember, this is my favorite setup to trade puts. Yeah, because the stock has to come back to the mean at some point. It's not posting higher highs. There is no reason for us to so bullish because it's not posting higher highs, though it's above VWAP. It is not quite yet. It's also stretched outside of the upper Bollinger. How do we know the upper Bollinger over here? I'm reading it here on the right hand side, which you cannot see. Why is that? Let me make sure that this screen always got me. So yeah, we can see the upper Bollinger, but we cannot see everything on the screen in any case. The upper Bollinger is read at, let's say, at that time it's at 58 and we are trading at 68. That's as far high that you can say. So this was really an invitation to take puts. But then when it fell below VWAP, I think we shared that on there, it took its sweet time. It took its sweet time. Eventually, actually, there was money to be made. I don't think it was huge amount of money, but they were at the time on here, the 58 put, they would be going for less than 20 cents. Eventually, I think they reached 44 cents or so, and then after that, I got distracted. Actually, I got distracted yesterday to the point where I missed some decent gain on one of our favorites. I just showed yesterday. Was it yesterday that I showed VXX for the first time? So VXX was coming down yesterday. So for me, remember what technique that we talked about here, right? If I'm long on a position with an expiration date which is further, and that's the same technique I was telling some folks yesterday. If you have stocks that you buy, because buying stocks, you're going to hold them hopefully for a long time. How do you hedge? You hedge on a smaller time frame. So meaning that the VIX calls that I have, they are for, is it November 6th? Yeah, and I'm going to actually tell you why I picked November 6th. So just stay tuned. Oh, well, that is only half Friday expiration, but yeah, but it's just that with the events of November 3rd, in case there was some lingering about recounting and the like, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but we've seen funny things, and so that was perfect on that. But as VXX was going down from the hedge that I had with the puts on VX for 24.5, they really start appreciating. I mean, all the way to the last candle here, it was printing 24.95. I was nowhere near the screen on here. So when I saw this, I was like, and then look what happened this morning. This thing now is popping up. Wait, meaning that this is good for my long-term range calls, but for the short put hedge, they were paying me here yesterday, and I missed that completely. Well, that's happened. So that's happened. So, yep, listen done. So while we are on the this one, is there a way, if you want to do a quant analysis, to say, can we project ourselves to say November, let's say 6, 7, 8, 2016. Was VFX trading at the time? Okay, I don't think so. Yeah, yeah. This is ETF is gone. I would have liked to know if they had it there. So yeah, that's definitely, that was the day. Some of the things that transpired yesterday. The Etsy, yeah, Etsy had a brutal reversal, yeah, and that's when actually the gangster trade got filled for the calls, uh, very cheap, and then they appreciated. They did double in value. They did double in value. That's I did witness. But then I mean, when it first went down below 130, and then this thing shoot up eventually. I think it went as high, so it gave 5 points. Where's Etsy? Etsy gave 5 points. Obviously, folks, we try to use the gangster trade here to take advantage of price discovery in the early phase, right? But we still have the normal between quotes, the standard entry trade something directionally when a new direction establishes itself, right? So that's meaning that for us, really, we have the possibility to make money on when a stock is moving, first on the gangster, but as well when a particular direction set up. Yeah, this is what we're talking about here. So two big candles setting the low, and so pretty much now we can say, okay, support here, bounce off it, came a little bit down. So this was this candle on here where almost it hit 128.25, and then from there it bounced, and then it bounced, then got stuck, right? What time is it, folks? This is not random. 8:15, meaning 11:15 Eastern. The trading clock, once again, after that, it was just sideways. It was just sideways. It was just sideways. Another example of sideways action starting at 11 Eastern. What does that leave us for today? What does that leave us today? Let's start with SPY on here. So SPY yesterday was, I mean, yeah, it traded bullishly as what would I expect? We have, I'm not sure about the upper wick on this candle on here on Wednesday. For whatever reason, they're saying that we went to 337. We never. This thing gapped down and it went down the entire way. I'm not sure that that's one of those things on there. So then the day spent yesterday, they put in a quick low, and then from there, and we have seen this before. We have seen this before. That's something that they really like doing. So this is it. So the first candle was red, and then a big green candle, and from there grind itself a little bit, but then from 11 to 1 p.m. no action, then furious action, to the point where some stock actually closed the day. Eventually, when I get to see them, I think stock like Twitter up 5% or no 8% for the day yesterday. I was like, whoa. How did that happen? Yeah, that happened because there was a huge rally. Speaking of Twitter, then let's project ourselves to today. While we are doing this, please, this is a time to share ask for any stock that you would like us to take a look. So what was Twitter yesterday? This was Twitter yesterday from, so on the 29th, it gapped because of pins. Yeah. So pins has so so we had Snap, we jumped 30% after earnings. Pins came and matched it, and making the other social media stock react. Facebook, we gave you those pairings for proxy trades, right? Facebook, Snap, Twitter, pins. So yeah, I was surprised to see the final price at the closing, but that surprise didn't last, because eventually in after hours, this thing was marked down big time. Where is this trading this right now? If they're not even showing it on the screen, are they showing it? TradingView has issues here on the daily. Look at this, folks. Okay, I'm gonna hit you do the next section on here, because for me it feels like a miss out. But let me show you something. Let me share with you this document that's called the Quant Earning Analysis. Let's see if there was a way meaning it was just even a remote way of actually getting some of this action on Twitter. For that, well, that we study the quant analysis if you have this document. So hopefully it's the most current one on here. Okay, let me zoom in further. Okay, so I think we were good, Telex. Now you're messing it up. Okay, we should be good. Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at the earnings since 2017, every single earning since 2017 of Twitter. That's the value of this document, meaning it gives you an idea how the stock trading is earning. My attention here today, and this is something where I still have over 2 weeks of earnings, right? You can do this on the stock that I included here, or if you have a specific stock that you want to find out if they provides certain patterns. Here's a history of Twitter, folks. This is not the first time. May I interest you that these are the delta column here is the jump straight from earning, meaning after closing, and then where the open the next day after announcing earnings. Typically, well, they changed this year. BMO stand for before market open, but actually yesterday it was after market close that then Twitter announced. But folks, look at the double-digit type of moves. 11% on here. So I think how many earnings do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 12. We have 15 earnings here. Yeah. Let's count the number of times that this thing has moved by double digits. Now you will have to be lenient with me. 8 point something, let's call it double digits as well. I know it's borderline. Yeah, let's say above 8%. And 8%, my friend, it's usually that something move 8%. You will have to have some strong implied volatility if not to make money. That's why I'm using 8%. This is this knowledge. Where does this knowledge come? It's not just something I'm advancing like this. Remember, I've said that I spent some time working for a prop firm where our job were to build boxes, AI boxes, if you will, for earnings, meaning I have studies which tell me what's the probability that a stock that jump 8% in either direction will either continue that momentum or not. So that's where that comes from. So here's what I want us to take a look at here. Count the number of times that over the 15 samples of data that you have, Twitter has done which that it did yesterday. Meaning my points that I want to make out of this and the document that you have with you have or may not have, is that Twitter is one of those stocks where you could have taken chances. I didn't. I wasn't even close to a computer yesterday at the time of the closing. I wish I was, because, and I told you, again, the strategy on pre-earnings, I have let that go a long time ago. So it's not really, there has to be circumstances. And this one, I mean, the learning here this morning is that there was that possibility. Okay, so let me count them without more blah, blah, blah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times out of 15 times earning, Twitter has jumped close to 10%, greater than 8%. I leave that simmer in a little bit for a minute. If you want really purely greater than 10%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times out of 15. Somebody do the math for us, or I can do the math. I'm the mad guy here. Yeah? That's the mad guy here. So my calculator is telling me that 6 divided by 15, that's 40%. So Twitter on earnings, on its last 15 earnings, dating back in 2017, has a 40%, 40 folks, probability of moving more than 10%. Yeah, and this morning Twitter is down 17%. So let's take some comments on there. Anybody took advantage of the quant analysis on Twitter yesterday to set themselves up maybe for a good reward on here? Obviously now the question I'm gonna tell you may have, it's okay, fine, Telex, but what's the direction? The direction is not that clear. I mean, for it's showing me all red. So disconnection, reconnection. Oh boy, I thought I had figured out this internet thing, but even at 6 a.m. Pacific time, my provider, we only have one provider here, believe it or not. They're in a monopoly because I would have dropped them a long time ago. And everybody work from home. If you call and ask for equipment, they will tell you that they run out. they ran out. So okay, so what do we see here? What can we make out of Twitter today after, hey, never consider as missing out. I mean, this is knowledge acquiring right now. You have this document. Next time that Twitter has an earning, you can go back to a large sample of quant analysis. You can even apply locally, because the local one, meaning the seasonal one, right? Meaning we are in October, so the last one of the year, you go look at exactly the behavior. That's what we call partial quant, the behavior of your stock at that same time. Because trust me, seasonality is something that's real in trading. So here, last October, Twitter is doing the same thing this year that it did last October. Well, if this is minus 17.95%, that's, I think, Twitter is down by how much exactly this morning? That was last October. Now you can tell me that, whoa, but Alex, that's one sample, that's a fluke. Yeah, okay. So let's then go the year before that, and if you already have it, Twitter is down minus 15% this morning. So October 25th, 2018, Twitter jump, in this case, opposite direction, 13.73%. Yeah. Now you can tell me, okay, Telex, come on, you got lucky twice. Come on now, this is this is just luck. Okay, October 26, 2017, Twitter jumped 12%. Yeah. The last 3 October earnings, Twitter has jumped double digits. Granted, this doesn't tell us with certainty the direction, but that's what you have, strangles. It will have helped you pick a strike price, a pretty cheap one maybe. That's the point. So from here, what happened then? If we apply that knowledge, so when Twitter does some type of jumps, it continued in that direction the next few days. In 2017, that's what it did. Here it was bullish. It continued in that direction by 6%. 7%, 8%. Interesting. And last year, October 24th, in this time, it dipped. Like it's dipping today. It continued on this direction for 3 days. Okay, folks, that's all I need to do. Or that's all I need to see for my quant analysis. So quant analysis on Twitter is telling us that follow the direction in which Twitter starts the day after the earning. That's it usually carries on. Yeah, so meaning that they are bearish this morning. Right now, Twitter is trading at $44.39 if you want to buy it. This downward momentum is likely to continue according to our quant analysis. So for us, we can set ourselves up for maybe a 5% move. It's between 2 and 3 points. Okay, 2 and 3 points. Yeah, so I guess very early this morning, our subscribers, they got the strike to gangster strip this one. I think we're using were we using 3 points? Yeah, I think 41 puts and 47 calls, thereabouts. I mean, you can adjust them to your liking, but at least you have this knowledge now. This is part of doing preparation, folks, such that when you take a trade, you have a high probability of making money on that trade. Hopefully this helps. Any comments, any reaction as we approach 9:10 Eastern Time, 6:10 Pacific Time. On this Friday, October the 30th, you're listening to Pre-Market Analysis on Successful Trading YouTube channel. Maybe, do we even have that? Yeah, I see this thing showing concurrent viewers 0, and there are always more people in playback. I wonder, the YouTube algorithm, definitely haven't figured out. Maybe I need to write some type of code or something. I don't know how YouTube go about offering my content to the audience. What are the criteria? I don't know any of that. All I say is that we have been producing content left and right, and most of the time it's like, oh, who even sees this content? Because the YouTube has an algorithm that when people do search, not only people do search, it presents the information based on which recommendations, right? But for us, we need to crack that code. We still haven't seen it at all. So at least that's something that I'm definitely still working on. Any question, any comments on here this morning, or everybody is just busy entering you're frantically entering I mean, that's what traders do, right? You give them trades, they're gonna take trades. So they don't the question. Well, some of them actually. Usually the questioning start afterwards. So that has been our experience. All right. So the other one that's moving this morning is Apple. Apple is moving about five, yeah, four between 4 and 5%. They're about at 110. Let's see if they allow this thing to move. What does the quant analysis if you because if I do I spend how much almost 10 minutes on Twitter and then they're gonna be like this guy spent 10 minutes on Twitter. He didn't even talk about Apple and everybody eyes are on Apple. Okay, here's you saw a lot of green and red on Twitter, right? That's what this document is for you, meaning you focus on stock with the most green and red, meaning that they are the one with the moves after earning the most. So for Apple on here, do we have the same type of pattern? Really mixed bag on here, right? For Apple, and the moves are not the same already. In any case, so last earnings in October, a move of on this direction on that day, not much, but -4% on the other direction. So yeah, it's one of those. So meaning that of the two of them, for me, I will allocate more budget to Twitter. I'm not saying don't do it on Apple, but I mean, if I don't get a feel, I don't get a feel. I mean, from a probability perspective, and that's bring me to another thing, right? As traders, we always okay. What strategy do I apply? Do I focus on a small sample of stocks, literally small samples, one, two, or do I try to spread my wealth, my wealth, my capital, my trading capital across multiple stocks? I prefer the first technique, folks. Yeah, because if you can really corner, you can have a position on one two stocks, and then it's become easier to manage, right? Managing 10 position is not fun. 13 position is, we have talked about this. That's why on Wednesday you usually hear me say, hey, the risk on here for today, it's over trading of the likes. Yeah, if you find yourself, let's say any day of the week for that matter, but especially as we approach the expiration, uh, you're taking trade after trade. That just means that the market is not giving you that much, most likely, right? Because as traders, our thing is, oh, let me take in another trade. That's going to increase my probability. No. If, let's say, you have one, two trades that are working great, you don't have the time, my friend, to look at any other stuff. You're focusing on how to manage them. That's better than actually trying to have many on that. So yeah, yeah. And I mean, two this morning definitely you can do both Twitter and Spy. But for me, if I had the choice, I may regret it in today, in later on in the day in the market daily recap. Maybe Twitter can get stuck and they just have a flat line and where Apple is moving. But at least in terms of allocation, quant analysis day in and day out clearly. I mean, you can come. I told you guys how to compare this chart. You see more opportunity on Twitter after the earnings. All right, so let's switch screens on here. Go inside of Power E-Trade then to take a look on here at all of these and the US equities where they have been moving. I mean, it has just been one of those weeks, right? So today's the last day of the month per se, and I will not be surprised by anything because the futures, between the futures this week, where the futures were green, was that on Wednesday, and then they gave back everything. was it yesterday? I cannot even remember. I think it may have been yesterday. The futures were green. They gave it back, went red, and then after the weekly jobless claim, we find a way to rally. So this morning, what was it? I think very since yesterday the futures were red, and then in the late at some point they went super red, and now look what we are. They like SPY is finding its way back into green because I can guarantee you if you check futures at some point they were at least twice in the red, and VSX itself is only up 1.63%. So I don't know which way to roll for on VXX here. So do I want to do I want it to drop all the way such that those put that I missed on yesterday can give me back those wins, or do I want it to go high because I have calls expiring on November the 6th, and so that's going to be interesting. But we are starting on here in the red on a Friday, as usual. Patience, the key. Two windows of of possibilities all the way to 11. But though sometimes on Friday they don't care. Especially, I mean, if they have to run it, they run it. Like we are starting low, they can put the favorite strategy in this case is to put in a low head fake, a low of the day. I don't know. Will that be 325 on SPY like yesterday, and then just start ramping up, melting it up? We do have no idea, but hey, that's what's make trading fun. And with patience, you can definitely trade the direction. If you wanted a gangster trade here for SPY yesterday, how many points did we get? 327. Where did we open yesterday? 327 to 332. Yeah, the high yesterday. So 5 points. So that 4 or 5 points, my friend, you have it every day. Today's expiration day, definitely. So you can definitely look for that. So it will be 4 points on here, will be 323, and that's 4 points down or thereabout. 323, 324, and on the upside 332 again. Now, okay, QQQ also has expiration today, so both SPY and QQQ, they are like, and which one is moving the most? As of now, it's QQQ, but QQQ was red. The further was really deep, almost down 2%, minus 2% at some point. What is the DAX doing? Because if that can give us any clue about the DAX has been very funny the entire week. Sometimes it had correlated with SPY, sometimes it hadn't. So DAX right now, it's minus 0.45 of 11,543 points. The entire week, the last couple of days have been relatively flat at that level. So let's see what they have in store for us. For individual stocks and in terms of volume, as usual, let's wait for it here. Start with no volume at all. LNG is back to the top with zero volume. And also, that's fantastic, LNG. Congratulations. So, Apple, 3 million shares. Yeah. Yeah, that's 3 million shares, minus 4.21%. Twitter, so that's for just those two reasons. Twitter has almost 3 million shares as well, 2.9 million as we approach 10 minutes into the open here. So between those two, let's see what can get. Who else is getting volume? Oh, whoa. A stock is definitely getting volume here, and for us, we have noticed that in the past. When is earning? November 5th. Okay. Baba, 1.1 million shares. Yeah, and it's hovering at this stage. Okay. Watch Baba, folks. Actually, I've watched both. Yeah. Okay. At the end of the day, I haven't given the subscriber the trade for next week, definitely. But watch both Baba and JD. I have a trade set up that's really left field. That's I want to set up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take it today or on Monday. Uh, but if the opportunity carries on, I will take it. I will take it today because Baba here is starting at minus 1% at 307. It has been flat on there. It did one day where it went to 317 or something. Not sure what is the catalyst behind this volume. November 5th for earnings is still, I mean, a few days left. So, but here the action is definitely bearish enough to warrant some attention. So Baba will be one that's stock on there. And our good friend Pins, hey, maybe just maybe we still are holding on those some of those puts, right? Yeah, because the 58 puts, yeah, they pay a little bit. They went to 44 cents, and then through that rally through the end of the day, I think they came back down to 20 something. But we left them in the, well, we were not in front of the screen. That's the truth. So we are about 58, $2.50 to be in the money on them. Interesting. Let's see, because 60 we were not below 61 yesterday. So starting on here minus 3% or minus $2. So let's see what happens on here. So with that, if there is no comments, we didn't see anybody request for any chat. Actually, we don't know if people are still on this thing is like this thing is spooky to me. Speaking to myself, sometimes people may react or anything. If anybody is still there, please give a like for me or wink once in order for me to know that I haven't been speaking to myself. The streamer is showing green, and I don't see anybody complaining yet on on Discord that hey, dude, you're speaking to yourself. Okay, folks. Thank you. Please remember to vote. The best way to vote, if you haven't done, It's this weekend. You can mail it in. You can go to places where within your city, and that's where you will have all the crowd on Tuesday. I wish everybody a great trading session. Friday can be fun. Friday can be fun if the market's moving. Thank you. Well, people actually execute that. Oh man, thank you for the likes. Not that I was looking for likes, but that helped me understand that a lot of people are watching this show, believe it or not, but silently, right? They are not in the chat or anything, but when we meet with them, when I meet with them, finally they tell me, "Oh, you said this, and that in your morning show." So we appreciate you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew has been the one person that day in and day out has been here. We appreciate you, everybody. Let's hopefully the training stars will line up with us with our two gangster trade. I feel confident today about those two. The only unknown here is really the direction. But hey, remember you can adjust your trade as your trade is you get into gangster and is moving your way, meaning adjusting, meaning you can scale in, right? And just always be prudent about this market. Thank you, everybody. We talk to you on Monday. Have a great trading session. Bye bye.